this project?
Well, I was on a plane from Los Angeles to Israel, sitting next to the head of Keshet Network, our partners in DIG. And he said to me that he always wanted to do a show about archaeology in Jerusalem. And because I was born and raised in Jerusalem, I immediately pounced on the idea and I said, let me think about it. And I started researching what our point of entry can be. And I found that every embassy around the world has this role called legal attaché, which are FBI agents stationed on foreign soil in charge of investigating crimes against Americans. So that started a train of thought that if our investigator, if Jason Isaacs investigates a murder of this archaeologist, but really uncovers a huge conspiracy, because Jerusalem has so many secrets and so many faiths and so many sects and so many factions. And it's so tender, Jerusalem, the whole status quo there. So I thought, what if you found a conspiracy that is threatening the world as we know it, and the threat is imminent. And then I met with Tim, and we started, back and forth with ideas, and came up with the show.
Can you talk anything about the new partnership with Wattpad and releasing the backstory? It was just announced yesterday.
It's really exciting. We were looking for cool and innovative ways to introduce the story to people who want more than just the show. And Tim is really a genius in multi-platform storytelling. But sometimes you see these 6-parters or 4-parters, whatever it is, and you want more. And what Wattpad is allowing us to do is tell the prequel to our story. And we have 12 chapters, 12 episodes before we hit the first episode of Dig, to tell the story of Peter and how he got there and what he was doing. It's really exciting.
Is social media going to play a role in the promotion of the show?
It will. It will in the promotion. It will. We also have a website that I think launched today, Dig Decoded, that will give added value to all the viewers that are diehard fans.
Can you talk more about the casting process, like who you wanted to get for the particular roles, and maybe a little bit more about the characters?
Well, Jason Isaacs was the first person we thought of for this role. When we started talking about what we need in Peter, we needed a more mature hero-type FBI guy who has a dark side, who has vulnerability to him. We both instantly thought of Jason. And funny enough, a few weeks later, while we were still writing the script, we ran into him in this event in our agent's house. Tim and I have the same agent, and we told him, listen, we were working on this project and we have you in mind. And he was like, yeah. And here we are with Jason Isaacs. The role of Lynn, we went through a casting process, and then USA talked to us about the possibility of Anne Heche. And I was really thinking to myself, oh, come on, we're not going to get Anne Heche. And we have Anne Heche. And the same thing with Lauren Ambrose, who we really wanted for this role, and shows so much, brings so much complexity to the role of Debbie. Allison we found through casting sessions. We went through, actress after actress after actress, and suddenly Allison walks into the room, and we asked her a few questions just to make her feel comfortable about her life and about what she's doing and about this and about that. And Tim and I were like, we think we found Emma before she even read for Emma. There's something ethereal about her. There's something so true and passionate about the way she talks about life. And that's what we were looking for this character, because Jason Isaacs is a guy who lost his faith because of a personal trauma and is dealing with grief. And he's dealing with his lack of faith in the holiest place on earth. And he meets this young, full of life, red-headed character who makes him fall in love with the city because of the passion in which she talks about the city. And she loves life so much. And Allison came into the room and she wasn't acting it, she was it. So it was great.
So it's been compared a few places to like the Da Vinci Code. Is that a fair comparison?
Well, you know, it's fair because it deals with religious themes and with history and how it impacts our current lives. But it also deals with themes of fanaticism and faith and lack thereof, and it has very high stakes. The conspiracy that Peter uncovers is all, by the way, true. It's all happening in real life, and it all, you know, it threatens the world as we know it. So the stakes are high. But, you know, the comparison is a flattering one.
Can you talk about what we're going to see this season and even what we're going to see in the first few episodes?
Yeah, so you're going to see a guy who lost his faith because he lost his daughter. And he's stationed in Jerusalem, not because he chose Jerusalem, but because he wanted to be as far away as possible from Washington. And that's the way, you know, and he called Lynn Anhish, who used to work for him, and now he's going to work for her in the embassy, in the consulate general in Jerusalem. And he's investigating crimes kind of passionless until he comes across this one crime that makes him kind of obsessive about finding out what happened. And in his obsession, he goes way beyond the duty of an FBI agent, and he manages to annoy the local authorities. We have a variety of amazing Israeli actors, by the way, in the show. And he finds out this conspiracy, and nobody at first believes it. And he's really him against the world, trying to convince everybody that there's a huge threat when nobody really believes it. So yeah.
You said it was fake. It's all 100% real. So you're saying that these conspiracies are you going to add any mythologies as well?
Yes, definitely. We've you know, the bad guys in our show are a group that we made up, but when you look at the elements that we use, the red heifer, people will Google these things and will see that this is actually really happening. In a much less organized way, in a very it's only in the extremes of society, and we of course heightened it for dramatic reasons. But it's there, and it's you can Google it.
What is it about these type of projects that really draws you in? Like Prisoners of War, Tyrant? What is it about this that really makes you want to tell this story?
For both Prisoners of War, Tyrant, and Dig, and also Homeland, it's so much about, you know, the secrets that we keep from each other, the traumas that we carry on our shoulders, and how they translate to current events. And I'm fascinated by this. Like I said, I was born and raised in the Middle East. I'm fascinated by the neighborhood. So I write what I know. But I think in all of these shows there's a theme of where's your home and being torn between two places, and that I think also exists in Dig. So yeah.